Corey says, I've just learned the word informative, and I started to encounter that word in almost everything I listen to. So there are a couple of different explanations for this. I think the most likely is, and I experience exactly the same thing. You were hearing that word a lot before. It was just as frequent before, except you didn't know it, you hadn't really learned it, and so you weren't grabbing onto it. We think that we're aware of everything, but we're really not. The ability to notice our environment, I think it's something called the Umvelt, is our sensory experiences. They're more limited than we think, and we don't notice a lot of things that are there. There was a classic experiment that was done where they had people watch a video, and in the video, they had people playing basketball. They were passing a basketball around. And then in the middle of the basketball players, a person wearing a gorilla suit walked to the center, right there, stood there for a few seconds, maybe 10 seconds, and then walked out. But the people were asked to pay attention to the ball. So they were watching who's passing the ball. Most of the people who saw that video, they said, watch this video and pay attention to the ball, who's got the ball. Then after they watched the video, the people doing the experiment said, so did you see the gorilla? And most of them said, what gorilla? What are you talking about? They didn't see the gorilla in the middle. So their eyes saw it. They took in the information, but the awareness, the consciousness didn't grab onto it, and it didn't enter their awareness, right? So this happens a lot, and I think that's probably the explanation for this strange phenomenon of only noticing a word or feeling like it's way more common after we learn it. It happens to me all the time. I learn a new word, and oh, there it is. Oh, wow. Why, this word is really frequent. Okay, but probably not. It's probably just the same. I'm just noticing it more now because I have the goggles for it. I have the awareness of it. Okay. Now, the other explanation is also interesting, but I'm not sure if it applies so much to words. There is a theory, and it's called synchronicity. And synchronicity is about a connection between consciousness and the world. And it's a theory that somehow our minds and our consciousness actually does have a real effect on the things that happen around us. That we can have an impact, and these crazy occurrences, these bizarre occurrences, are sort of links between the outside world and the conscious mind, or the unconscious mind. And somehow one is having an influence on the other. And it's pretty interesting. It's by, well, one guy who talked about it was Carl Jung. Now, is that real? I don't know. But it's interesting. So I just thought I would mention it, but I think it's a good question. And I would be very curious to know if other people feel the same way. Once they see a new word, it seems like it's everywhere. Do you feel that way? Do you feel like that happens? Is that just me and Corey? I'm curious how common that is. All right. Anyway, good question. Guys, if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. I would appreciate that. Hit the like button and check out the courses. Check out the courses. They're on sale.